Yes. Hello, everybody. David Pease here, broadcasting from Studio Squim. And we are, first, let me introduce my special guest here, Mike, from the Channel 4 Wave Flashers there. Let's go ahead and take this out. There we go, so we can see each other a little better. Uh,
Hello.
I'm getting a little echo there. That's kind of weird.
It figures that the best laid plans all through this setup. There's no problems, and then go live.
Oh, I know. I think I figured that out.
Okay.
I had YouTube on in another tab in my browser, so it was it was playing about 5 seconds too late. But okay, so now that confusion is all figured out, special guest Mike from the YouTube channel 4-Way Flashers is joining me, and I'm a little hesitant to say this is a first. I have scoured YouTube to see, find other resources and see who else has done this. Some people have done some booster pack openings, but there is only one other game that I'm aware of on the Board Mat YouTube channel, but they played the scripted scenario
game,
from the two-player starter. And we are playing with our own decks. So if I may be so bold, I would say we are the first to play an unscripted game of Battlestar Galactica on YouTube, on the interwebs around the world. So that's pretty cool. So
yeah.
Congratulations, Mike, on a first YouTube first. You don't hear too many of those.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. And what we're playing is Battlestar Galactica collectible card game. This came out in 2006. It was made by WizKids, based on the rebooted TV show. And that lasted, if I remember correctly, 4 seasons.
4 seasons, yeah.
Yeah. So it's based on the TV show, not the original, but the reboot. And the base set came out with a 2-player starter, and then a full base set. I don't know the exact count of the cards. I want to say it's like around 200-ish, something like that. But after that, it did have one expansion called Betrayal. And after that, it was cut. So we have the base set and one Betrayal. Now we were this close to getting another expansion called Martial Law. They even went so far as to print promo cards for it, and so those were distributed. You'll find those around the internet, offered for different prices, but it never actually made it to press. And I was hoping, much like Mike, you and I play the X-Files CCG, I was hoping it would be kind of one of those lost expansions that we could find somebody somewhere has the notes for it, and we could dig it up and recreate it. But I reached out to WizKids, and they said, no, we once we lose the license, we delete everything. It's gone.
It's crazy, yeah.
I did go into some of the Facebook groups where some of the designers, in fact, the lead designer, Chuck Kallenbach, is a member of one of these groups, and I asked the group there if anyone knew anything about that, and all I got were a bunch of laughing emojis. So I think it's probably lost to time. Yeah. but we'll make do with these 2 expansions. Mike, you and I played about a year ago. I got you all excited, and you went all in and bought a bunch of cards. I was like, yeah, we'll play, and then I kind of dropped out. And that was about a year ago. We played a couple games offline.
Yeah.
Together as practice. We enjoyed it quite a bit. We played with the starter sets, so there wasn't a whole lot of strategy and intrigue there. It was really kind of a basic thing, but we both enjoyed it and agreed to do it again. So a year later, here we are.
It's about time.
It's about time, indeed. Yeah, and that's my fault. I apologize for getting you all excited and then not getting online with you. But we're here now. And
I got really lucky. I was going on Facebook Marketplace, and somebody was selling them, and I just happened to see them, and I was like, "Hey, would you take this amount?" And he's like, "Well, I know how much they're worth online, but yeah, I just want to get rid of them." And it was a big box full of them, and it had the complete set of the first season with a bunch of doubles in there. So I was really lucky because they're not easy to come by.
No, and you can find singles here and there, but trying to find like a sealed box, they're upwards in the $200 range
crazy.
From what I've seen. And I tell everybody I am a notorious cheapskate, and that's just that's a little too much for my taste. So we'll see. But I do have a never-ending quest to free all of these dead CCGs from their foil tombs. So we'll see. Maybe one day I'll pry open my wallet and score one of those boxes, but not today. That's for sure. But yeah, that was very cool that you came into that huge collection.
Yeah.
At a really great price, and it's tough for you being up in Canada.
Yeah, it's even harder.
Yeah, there's lots of great stuff floating around in the States, but man, it costs a fortune to get it across the border. So that's a bummer. A bit of a barrier, but we've already arranged a couple of trades between the two of us. So I think eventually we're gonna get the stuff that we need, because there's a lot of great cards. And speaking of those cards, I do want to take a moment. If you read the description, if you're joining us live, or read the description before you watch this, I did come into a lot of these cards by way of a gentleman who had passed away, and his family he was a big collector. His name was Richard Burns. He was a big collector down there in Kansas, and had a whole bunch of games, Battlestar Galactica being one. He also had Decipher Star Wars and Star Trek First Edition, and Buffy, and a small handful of X-Files, and a whole bunch more that I wasn't my thing, but she was offering to sell them in the groups, and turns out that she is selling them and using the proceeds to help pay for his niece and nephew's college fund, which I thought was very worthwhile thing. So I helped her find the value for these BSG cards, and then turned around and started buying them from her. And she's been very patient. He had a huge collection, and I've been buying it up in small batches at a time. My fun money budget is light, so I couldn't just buy it all at once. So she's been very patient with me, selling them to me in batches. But I'm almost there with getting the rest of them. But I did want to mention Richard. He was throughout the time that I've been purchasing these cards, I've had a chance to talk with his sister, who is selling them to me, and a lot of great stories. Really great guy, big. I'm losing my words, but he was big into animals and taking care of animals, cats and dogs, and a big animal lover. And he was also a live action role player, and
cool.
Which is kind of, yeah, I know, right? That's pretty cool. And one story she told me that I thought was really funny is at various holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, where the whole family, they have a huge family, and they get together and everybody brings something, like one does for a holiday. And he was known for bringing some really wacky combinations. Everybody counted on him to bring just like the bonkers stuff. Everybody else would bring stuffing or mashed potatoes or, the traditional stuff, and he would bring like crazy stuff. And so he had that reputation. He was a real great guy. I know that if I had a chance to meet him, we would have been good friends. He would have been he was a really great guy. Loved his family, and unfortunately passed away at a very young age. So in the description, if you want to learn more about Richard, in the description is a link to, is a link to his eulogy, and there's a cool little embedded slideshow there. And I did want to share this picture. there he is as a young man. And I'll tell you what, I am old enough to remember to watch
The
the
original
original
Battlestar. Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica when it was first run, and I would have killed somebody for that jacket. And there he is, living the dream, wearing that jacket. That is super cool. So there's Richard in his younger days wearing that jacket. Whew. I would get one of those today and wear it around if I could, but they're hard to come by. But anyway, yeah, if you want to learn more about Richard, you can follow the link in the description to his eulogy and see a really neat slideshow. Really great guy, and a lot of the cards that you'll see me playing. And Mike, I sent some of the cards to you as well, so you might see some of those cards from Richard's collection in this game. And I'm really happy and proud to be able to give that collection and those cards new life through our collection and getting them on the table like this today. So if you read the description, you know that I asked you to have a beverage handy so we could raise a glass. Now, it's if you're watching this live, it's 7 a.m. For me, 10 for Mike, so it's a little early for anything other than a breakfast beverage there. But Mike has assured me he has his coffee. I am not a coffee drinker, so I've got my fun little chocolate protein shake here. So we'll raise a glass to Richard. We dedicate this game to you. Gone too soon. So say we all.
So say we all.
All right, let's do it.
And the good thing too, David, is that it's probably what he would have wanted with his collection for the cards to be played on, not just sit in a box more.
Right, and just end up at a garage sale or wherever. We're making use of them. We're going to have them in binders. We're going to have them on the table, and for his sister to use them to be able to help with his niece and nephew's college fund is a great legacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that having been said, we've already played with the starter set offline. We have a pretty good feel for the game. We were both desperately reading the rules last night and this morning, so we may refer to those. I've got my rule book handy here just in case. Yep, there you go. And it's got the sequence of play on the back, so that'll make it nice and handy. If you're watching, please do leave comments, ask questions. I look forward to having you there. I see we have one viewer that might have been me with my tab open. But anyway, if you're watching afterward, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Definitely like it. I enjoy this game. We're going to see what we can do with this today. Admittedly, I did not put a whole lot of strategy into my deck. I went to the now deleted WizKids official BSG site, and it's available on the Internet Archive, the Wayback Machine. The link to that is in the description if you want to go back and look at some of the blogs. I got a deck list from that website, and going through it, I kind of did some practicing last night with it just to make sure I knew how the cards interacted and what I should be looking for and that kind of thing. And it's not a killer deck by any means. And you'll see as it goes through, and we'll talk about it afterward. But there's not a whole lot of gotcha type stuff that the game has in it. As you can imagine, there's lots of Cylon type cards that are going to really that can really screw with you or mess with your opponent and that kind of stuff. But we'll talk about that afterward, because I definitely want to see your deck. Any thoughts before we get started?
Yeah. So I built my deck almost a year ago. when we said that we were going to play, I went out and I built it, and it's been sitting right under my monitor for the whole time in the preparation of playing the game. So I really don't remember anything about this deck other than the theme that I built it around. So yeah, I'm excited to give it a shot though, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so every time you sat down at your computer and looked at your monitor, you saw that deck. You're like,
I saw
David,
the
you
deck and I'm
told
like,
me we would play this game.
I also have my X-Files deck on the other side, so I'm always ready for a game just when I sit down at my computer.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah. Uh, all right. Well, with that having been said, maybe Mike and you can help me with this. We'll go through very quickly what we're going to do here. Uh, the object of the game, and you'll see as we flip our starting card there, our base card. Uh, we'll start out with a certain amount of influence, and I kind of spoiled it a little bit. My influence starts at 9, and the goal is to make it to 20. So the first person that gets to 20 wins, or conversely, the first person that gets down to 0 loses, and their opponent wins. Yeah, and we'll put out different resources out here. There's 3 rows, not unlike a lot of card games out there, 24 card game and versus system. There's 3 rows. The first row is resources that we'll use to pay for cards to be able to play them. The second second row is reserve. That we will have cards ready to play. And then, of course, there's the alert row, and you'll see this as we move on. You'll see the different rows, and the alert row are the cards that are active, and we can use their effects, and we will challenge each other. And as we challenge each other, we'll whittle away at each other's ships or personnel. There's Vipers, there's Cylon Raiders, there's all the different characters from the show. And as we knock each other down, my cat is trapped in the room now. Now she wants out. So she's like a Jurassic Park raptor. She's learning how to open doors. So I keep hearing this rattling. She keeps jumping up at the door handle. I might have to get up and get her out of here. But so as we knock away each other's defenses, knock out their ships, their personnel, or at least take them out of the alert status, we will either gain or lose influence as we win or lose those battles. That's kind of the basics of it. I don't want to, this isn't really a learn to play for people. This is mostly for Mike and I to just have some fun. And, as we fumble through it, you'll learn with us. That having been said, are you ready to reveal your base card there, sir?
Absolutely.
All right, simultaneously, we'll reveal. And I am playing the Celestra. This dictates that my starting hand is 5. My influence is 9, which I'm keeping track of analog there at the side there. And it has an effect that says if you exhaust this card, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one on top of your deck and the other on the bottom. So it's kind of a clever way for me to get a little bit of access to my deck. And you've got a base star there, sir. That's an interesting twist.
Yep.
Okay, tell me, what do you have there?
Hand size of 5, influence of 10, which I'm keeping track up here, and I can exhaust to ready a target Cylon unit.
I'm sorry, I missed that. You can ready an exhausted unit.
Ready a target Cylon unit.
Oh, okay.
So I think I just gave away my whole deck right there.
That's funny because I was saying that I got this deck list off the internet, but my grand plan was to make a Cylon deck. Like, nobody's ever done this before. This is going to be great. And I went through all the cards. I was like, okay, I want this card. I want this card. I want this card. I want 4 of this. I want 3 of that. And I ended up with like 96 cards. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to whittle this down because I'll never see any of these cards. And that's when I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go with I'm going to go with someone else's idea to kind of make it easy until I get used to it. But
I had looked and looked, and I didn't even occur to me to go to way back. There's your cat.
Yeah, she's impatient.
It didn't occur to me to go to the Wayback Machine until much later after I'd built the deck.
Okay, get out of here. Okay.
Because there's very few resources online of like deck building ideas. At least X-Files. There's a whole site dedicated to different deck builds and whatnot. And so I'm excited to see.
This game kind of came and went pretty quick, so there aren't a lot of resources there. That Wayback Machine was a bit of help because there's a lot of blogs on there that give some advice and a couple deck lists and stuff. But Mike, I think people are going to be looking to you and I for tips here. So I'm glad you were bold and went with a Cylon based star. That's very cool. So let's see. Let's do 5 here. 5 for my starting hand. And the person with the lowest influence is the first player.
Yes.
And that would be me by just 1. So we start the ready phase. All players ready face-up units and missions, but we're on the first turn, so there's nothing there. And again, here we go. I can't wear my glasses when I'm online because they have the blue reflective things. So they end up just looking like blue rectangles on my eyes. It looks ridiculous. So I'm going to have to hold this up. All players restore exhausted cards. None of that. All players draw 2. Cards. So we'll draw our 2 to get the turn started. And then I believe we play a resource. Each player plays an asset, which means I can play a card down to my resource row to start building resources. Oh my goodness. This is a terrible hand. And I believe, according to the rules, I'm allowed a mulligan.
Yep.
Right. But I've already drawn my 2, so I may be too late for that.
I don't mind if you reshuffle.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to do that because there were absolutely no.
In fact, I will take the same opportunity.
Okay. I had no units at all. I was just going to be sitting out there naked, so that was not going to be good. So while we're shuffling here, I'll talk a little bit about that resource thing. There are 3 types of resources in this game. There's persuasion, logistics, and security. And cards are played. When you play a card, there's a cost, and that cost is one of those 3 resources. So in this last row, this resource row that I was talking about, we will build up resources to pay for those cards, and we have to build up according to our deck, the different categories of resources in order to pay them. And each turn we'll put 1 down, and that will count as 1. And a lot of these cards will cost a lot more than 1. So we may not play anything on the first round, but you'll see each turn we can set down another resource, and we can start as many resource stacks as we want. And if some cards require more than just 1 type of resource, so we may have to start different resources for different stacks for the different types of resources. I'm going to draw my hand back up to 5, and then I'll draw my 2.
Yeah, I'll draw my 2 as well.
And you can kind of see, maybe not, I'll hold this up a little closer. Down here is the type of resource. This is persuasion, and then other ones, the logistics, it looks like a couple little buildings or something there. Yeah, there it is. And then the third one is security, and it's the little, kind of like this little eagle or phoenix or whatever this is that's on there. So we can start by starting another resource stack or adding to the one that's on our base. And I am going to, let's see here. I am going to start by I hate it when this happens. These are all great cards. I am going to start by placing a resource card face down under there. So now, if I were to want to play a card after Mike plays his resource, I now have 2, the base card and this one underneath it. So I have 2 persuasion.
I'm going to
that I could use.
Play down the Cylon Raiders to give me the Eagle resource. That's
the security.
Security.
Okay.
So I have 1 logistic, 1 security.
Okay, so now that we've done that part, play an asset, each player. Oh, reorders any unit stacks. We're still a little early for that as well. So we'll move on to execution phase. Each player plays a card, plays an ability, resolves a mission, challenges, or passes. And we repeat that back and forth until we both have nothing else left to play. That having been said, I actually don't have anything to play, so I will pass over to you.
I will play a mission, which goes into my ready, and it's called "We'll See You Again." Resolve 2 Cylons, and then it becomes a persistent effect. And I put this in mission in my reserve area instead of my discard pile as part of the resolution. Cylon units you control aren't singular. You don't have to play them to stacks.
Right. Yeah, that was one I was looking at too. I was like, oh, this will come in handy. So yeah, I'm very familiar with that one. Back to me, and once again, I am going to pass.
All right. So I will pass as well.
All right. Well, then we'll go to the Cylon phase. And this is where our fleet defense comes in. Now, my power was 4, and you told me your power was
3.
3. So our fleet defense is now 7. So during the Cylon phase, we add up the Cylon number, which is a red number in the bottom right corner of all of our alert and committed cards. Now I don't have any. You've got the 1. What's the number on that?
The number is 1.
1. So that number is less than our fleet defense. So we don't have to worry about the Cylon phase this time. If we did have cards out that were more than 7, it's a whole different phase, and we'll talk about that when we get to it, right? So, yeah. That having been said, I believe we'll go to the next turn, which means we both draw 2 to get started. And we ready any face-up units or missions. I don't have any, so over to you if you need to.
Nothing to ready.
Okay. And then we restore things, exhausted cards, and neither of us have anything exhausted, so we'll go right to the resource phase. All right. Just like the X-Files, I get a hand that either really stinks or I don't want to give up any of these cards. But you got to do what you got to do here. Bear with me for just another second here.
No problem.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. So I am going to I'm going to play 1 to my resource stack here.
All right.
Over to you.
And I'm going to play 1 underneath the skirmishing raider.
Okay. Back to me to play. Now I've got 3 persuasion points. So I am going to play, and here's what I was talking about with the cost. You can see over here the persuasion, the middle is logistics, and the third is security. So this William Adama, the old man, costs 3 persuasion, and I have 3 here. So I will turn that over to exhaust it, and I'll put that in my over here. My rows have already gotten blurry here.
My mission actually should have gone up to the ready.
Sure.
Just put that right there.
Okay, so my guy is played to the reserve. Okay. And I'll turn it over to you.
At the moment, I have nothing to play, so I will pass.
All right. I'm still a little light on resources. So, yeah, I have nothing as well.
All right.
And as far as Cylon, my Cylon number is 1.
So we're at 2 now.
Yeah, so no worries with that. So we'll
safe there.
Yeah, we'll start the next turn by drawing 2. Oh my lord! All right. Start by ready any face-up.
All right.
Cards, and yours is already ready, so I've just moved my Adama up to the top there. Or no, I skipped the resource phase, or resource turn, didn't I? Resource phase. So let's quickly get back to that. I'm going to put another one on my existing resource stack there.
One thing that you should probably mention is that if you exhaust your Celestia, all of the units pay for one thing only, right?
Yes, yeah. There's no, like, if you have a card that costs 2, but your stack is 4. Yeah. If you exhaust that resource stack, you exhaust all 4. You don't get to.
That's right.
You don't get to choose. Oh, I'm going to use 2 from this stack and 2 from that. You got to exhaust the whole stack. Now, that having been said, there are some mission cards that have the expedite keyword.
Yep.
That says if you exhaust a resource stack, and you have extra, you can use it to pay for that card. But that's a card rule. That's not a game rule. So right. only those specific cards overrule that. But yeah, you're right. Once you exhaust a resource stack, it's all or nothing.
And you'll want to flip over your Celesta.
Oh, did I not restore it? No, that was done. All right, so I've got 4 there. And my turn to play, and I am going to play to my reserve Tom Zarek. He costs 4, so that takes care of that. He is a power of 2, and his keyword is manipulate, which means each time this personnel challenges and there is no defender, you may gain influence equal to its power instead, which is kind of.
I didn't actually do my.
Oh, you didn't do your resource?
Okay, so I'm just going to stick one underneath the Cylon base star.
Well, it's all about me. I'm just playing. I'm not used to this back and forth so much like this. Wherever the first player.
Yeah,
used for challenges and stuff.
Playing at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, so
you can play your Tom Zarek now.
Okay, so I will use my 4 from my resource stack to pay for Tom Zarek, who costs 4, and he is now in my reserve row.
All right, I will exhaust both my logistics and security for two apiece to introduce the Cylon Centurion. Cylon Centurion is while challenging, this personnel gets +2 power.
And what's his printed power on there too?
His printed power is 2, yes.
Ooh, so if he's challenging, that's 4. That's nice. Yeah. Okay, back to me then.
Yep.
All right, I am.
And he has a Cylon value of 4, by the way.
What's that?
He has a Cylon value of 4.
Yikes! Okay, now we're risking it.
Just if that might determine whether or not you want to play something else.
Let's see here. I do have something. I'm going to play a mission, and missions have no costs, so I can play that outright. But I do have. It's got a keyword resolve, which I do have to meet, and the resolve is 1 politician, and Tom Zarek is a politician, and the effect is to draw 2 cards. So I'm going to take 2, and then that'll go to my discard, and back to you for an action.
I pass.
Okay. Yep, I will also pass. Right. So we'll move on to Cylon. Now I've got Adama is 1 and Zarek is 2. So I've got 3 on my side.
All right. And I've got 4 on the Cylon Centurion and 1 on We'll See You Again. So that's a total of 5 there on my side.
5 and I've got 3. So we're over the fleet defense by 1. And I'm going to kind of go with your guidance here. We both flip over a card.
Yep.
And if they both have the Cylon keyword, then we have to jump and each expend a resource. Mine does not, but I think yours does.
Mine does, yeah.
So mine does not have any red text, which is Cylon text, so mine doesn't do anything. But yours, what is the red Cylon text there?
It says each player puts 1 card from the top of his or her deck into the discard pile.
So we do that effect, and then we challenge, or do we challenge, and if it wins, we do the effect?
I believe the effect happens first. Let me just double check.
Yeah, we're both going to go to our rule book here.
Resolving Cylon threats. All players reveal the top of their decks, put it face up. If each of these cards representing a Cylon threat, the power of the threat is equal to the threat of that card. All other characters of that card are ignored except the red Cylon text, which triggers at this time in turn order, or if more than 1 revealed. So yes, it takes effect.
Okay, so we both discard whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Oh, another colonial shuttle. Not bad for me.
And mine is investigation. So the threat of the Cylon force, mine is 0, and yours was
0.
0? Okay, so we don't have to fight it then.
Are you sure?
Well,
because I think the card's power becomes the Cylon power, right? And then we go through a challenge phase. So I can pass and lose 1 influence, or choose any one of the Cylon threats to be the defender, and a face-up alert unit he or she controls to be the challenger.
It says the power of the threat is equal to the Cylon threat of that card.
Oh, okay.
So we don't use their power, we use the Cylon threat.
Okay. So yeah, it says yours is 0. There's really no threat.
There's no threat, yeah.
Okay.
Shelley Godfrey goes into the discard pile. But whittling away our cards.
Indeed. The good thing is this isn't a deck is life type game. Once we run out of cards, we just shuffle it and start over again.
All right, so then that ends this turn.
Yeah, so let's start the new turn with drawing 2 cards.
All right. Well, unexhaust your.
Yeah. And then face-up cards move from reserve to ready, so I'll move Tom Zarek up.
Centurion Cylon comes out as well.
And then any exhausted cards turn over, which neither of us have that. So time to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
What to do? Oh no, it's time to do a resource phase.
Resource, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to start a new resource stack, and this is another persuasion. So I'll start that stack down here on its own. And over to you for a resource.
All right, I am going to increase the value of my security by another 1. And it's back to you.
Okay, time for me to do an action. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to exhaust my first stack here to pay for D. Security advisor. Her cost is 3 personnel, so I exhausted that stack to pay for her. Power of 1, which is, but if I commit her, target other personnel gets +2 power, so she'll come in handy next turn.
Mm-hmm. All right, I am going to exhaust my security and bring out the first ship of the game, the Skirmishing Raider. And now that I have 2 Cylon units, my We'll See You Again resolves. So I'll just stick it down here for now.
Okay.
And basically, I can play multiple copies of the same person, which may or may not happen. Ooh, I don't know.
There's something to look forward to.
Huh?
All right. So back to me then. Oh man, who shuffled this deck? This is terrible. Okay. I am actually. I'm going to pass. So over to you for an action.
All right, I'm going to have the Silent Centurion challenge.
Okay, and I get to pick the defender, right?
Yes, you do.
All right, then I'm going to pick. We're going to have William Adama, the old man, be the defender. His power is 2, but his effect, while you control another alert personnel, which Tom Zarek qualifies, this personnel gets +2 power. So my defense is 4.
All right. Well, my power is 4 because while I'm challenging, this personnel gets +2 power. So the both of us get knocked out.
Well, before we do anything,
okay.
I'm going to pay 1 for an event. So I'll turn over this stack. This is the power of prayer. Reveal a mystic value. Oh, we didn't do our mystic values.
That's right, mystic values.
So let's do that real quick here. Mystic value for anyone just joining us here is the blue number right here. And it serves as kind of a random number instead of rolling a dice or something. And we add that mystic number to our power. So I just drew a 2. So with my printed value of 2, my effect gains 2, and then 2 mystic value, I've got 6 so far.
Well, I drew a 0, so my Centurion was not helped out by the mystic value.
Okay, so I'm going to reverse my little
Yep, absolutely.
event thing since we kind of had to go back in time. Ooh, so that mystic value paid off for me. That was good. Right, so your Cylon went away, right?
Yeah,
he's defeated.
He's in the junk pile.
Okay. So now it's my turn. And defending doesn't mean that I exhaust or anything, right?
I believe it does. Let me just double check. New requirements. Fleet defense level, first player, playing the game. Playing ability. Challenge procedure.
So you resolve the challenge by determining the total power of each player's challenger or defender. The player with the highest power wins. The challenger wins ties. Commit the winning unit. Defeat the losing unit. So I commit. So he goes back down here. So I would love nothing more than to play him this round, but I got nothing. Okay, that answers that.
Okay.
So I still have Tom Zarek out in alert status there. And he is going to challenge.
All right.
And you don't have a defender.
I don't have a defender.
And this is another case where I am going to, surprise, surprise, play an event which costs 1 personnel, Power of Prayer, reveal a mystic value. Target unit gets plus X power, where X is that mystic value. So do I draw 1 for the challenge and then 1 for the event? That seems like I'm kind of double whammy in you there. If it's not defended, I think we just go right to...
I think it just goes through.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's how we'll play. So 2, and then I'm playing the Power of Prayer to add the mystic value. So we'll reveal the mystic value, and the mystic value is 2.
All right.
So that's 4 knocked off of your influence.
All right. Are you going to use Tom Zarek's ability to increase your influence, or you want me to lose my influence?
You know what? An excellent question. I'm glad you asked me that. I am actually going to... 4 is a big number. I think let's take away your influence. Let's knock you down 4.
So I'm down to 6 now.
All right, and so that means he's committed. And over to you, sir.
All right, I have nothing else I can play. Oh, do I?
Do you?
I've got nothing else. Okay.
Got nothing else. Okay.
I got nothing.
Yeah, neither do I.
Okay.
So Cylon phase. Now we're getting up here. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 on my side.
And I have 4.
Oh, so. All right. You ready to draw?
Yep. Oh, look at that. It's a Cylon.
Oh, yeah, I've got a civilian, but there's no Cylon, red Cylon text on it. So there's
mine says each player puts the top card of his or her deck into the discard pile.
Oh, I hope you're happy. Which base star do you have?
The Cylon base star.
It's not the defending base star?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right. And
I asked because the effect for the defending base star is that if you exhaust it, you can ignore the effect of a Cylon threat.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one. I wish I had that one, but I don't have that one.
Well, the effect you have is going to come in handy at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's not wasted. So that's the effect, and now we challenge, right?
Right. So I have a Cylon value of 4.
Oh God, I think I'll just pass and take -1 influence. That's an
Yeah.
option, right?
Yeah. And as will I.
And since we both pass, that means the Cylon
Threat is
phase
over.
is over. Yeah. Okay. Well, that could have been a lot worse. So I guess I would ask at that point, why would you not pass?
Well, because if you could beat this Cylon threat with one of your guys, rather than lose the influence.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you win a Cylon challenge, don't you gain influence? You gain 2 if you defeat the Cylon
I
threat.
believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the advantage. And unfortunately, I had nothing in alert status, so I was just naked and afraid.
All right. So,
On to the next turn.
yep. So unexhaust.
Restore these. We'll draw our 2.
Draw 2.
Good God. All right, and resource. I am going to. Ooh, I like that one. I'm going to play. So I'm going to play 1 to this stack. So now it's got 2 on that.
All right. I'm going to play 1 underneath my Cylon base star, so it's got 3.
Okay.
And now, since actually I go first because I have the lower influence at this point now.
Yep. Over to you. But don't we ready our stuff first? Yeah.
So I'm going to spend 3 logistics, and I'm going to play Boomer. Boomer, the Raptor pilot, Cylon pilot. When this card enters play as a personnel, draw a card, which I will do. All right. She has a power of 2.
Okay. Over to me then, I assume.
Yep.
Let's see here. I don't want to be foolish with my resources here, just in case. Let's try this. I'm going to play an event. It costs 2 personnel, so I'll exhaust this resource stack. This is downed pilot. Target opponent chooses 1. Commit a ship that player controls or sacrifice a personnel.
All right. So I guess you're going to be committing my.
You get to choose.
Yeah, I'll choose to commit the ship.
Okay. And over to you for an action.
Let's pay to play an event called Condition 2. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to commit a target unit, and the target unit I'll commit will be the old man Billadama.
Okay. Back to me, eh? Let's see here. Okay, feeling a little safe here. And you exhausted your base star resource. Yep. Okay. I'm going to pay this resource stack. I'm overpaying. This is a 4, but it's only cost 2, but you got to do what you got to do. This is Test of Faith. It costs 2. Expedite. That's not a worry. Target player gains 1 influence, which I'm targeting myself.
Me? Oh, thank you.
No, restore myself back up to 9 there.
All right.
And over to you for an action.
I'll play a mission. Life has a melody. I'll resolve with 1 civilian unit and 1 Cylon unit. Search your deck for a Cylon card, reveal it to your opponent, and put it into your hand.
Okay. I am going to, it's over to me, right?
Yep.
So, and maybe you can help me with this one too. I want to attack with Tom Zarek, or challenge, I should say. But I want to use Dee's effect. Do I use her effect as my action, and then it goes to you, and then it comes back to me, and I get that, or do I challenge and then just use her?
I think it would work either way, but I would say first challenge, use her effect, and then challenge.
Oh no, I do remember this now that I say it. I challenge, and then it goes to you to do anything, to do anything, and then it comes back to me, and that's when I'll use her effect. So I'm going to challenge with Tom Zarek. He is a personnel, and his power is 2.
So I have no buddy to defend with, and the thing is, in the challenge procedure, it says if that if there is no defender, the defending player loses influence equal to the power of the challenger.
Okay, so there's no back and forth really.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll just take the 2 off.
Oh, no. Sorry, you can play her, because it says starting with the challenging player and proceeding in turn order, each player can play an event, ability, or pass. Repeat this procedure until all players consecutively pass.
Okay, so
you're choosing not to pass, right? Yeah.
It comes back to me, so I'm going to commit D. Target other personnel gets +2 power, so that makes his power 4.
All right.
So that's going to be my. So it'll come back to you if you want have anything you want to play, and I'll pass as well. So 4 is the final power on that.
Okay, so are you taking away or giving to yourself?
I am taking away.
All right, puts me down to 1. This could be a deadly Cylon phase if it comes up the right way.
All right, and over to you for any actions you want to play. Anything you want to do?
I passed. Yeah.
Okay, I'm also going to pass. So we'll move on to the next turn.
So Cylon phase. Well, look at
I've
that. It's Cylon.
2, 3. I've got 4 on my side.
All right. I've got a 2 on my side, and it says each player exhausts an asset he or she controls. So we don't have any assets to control, or to exhaust at this point. So my Cylon power is 2.
Mine is also 2.
All right, and it looks like I've lost the game because I'm gonna have to. I can't defend.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah. Well, my thing. All my guys are take at least like 3 to start coming out. So it takes a while to build up the thing. So But
Yep.
yeah, it was a good game.
Well, yeah, well, it's a little fast for my taste, but I was the victim of a bad shuffle. I just kept getting more and more events.
Well, I had Cylons. I was ready next turn. I was gonna be coming out. I had Boomer coming out and the Cylon Assassin coming out. So it would have been a little bit a little bit more even as far as guys go. But
well, that went pretty quickly. You want to do another?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Okay, let's shuffle them up.
All right.
Yeah, I've found it very interesting that you chose that, and one of the things, and by chose that I mean went with a Cylon themed deck because that's what I kind of wanted to do, and so I kept finding that a lot of the mystic values were 0 on the units. And I was like, so you really got to make sure you have enough effects to boost up, or events or missions or something to kind of help those guys along. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble in terms of power. But there's a lot of really great cards out there to play. With the Cylon, a lot of little gotcha things or little tricks to manipulate the keywords. But even with the politician one as well. Military, I didn't see a whole lot. I don't know if your experience was different, but with the politician, if you had a politician themed deck, there seemed like there were a lot of good cards to help you out too.
Yeah. Well, military is military, right? You're just going to be doing the challenging and just going for power.
Right. Just go for the brute force.
Yeah.
I was very surprised when you revealed that you had a base star, and I knew you were going to be a Cylon deck. I was like, oh, this my deck is done. I'm out. And especially when I was having a hard time drawing units, and they ended up being all personnel, but they were the right ones. The old man and Tom Zarek ended up
that helped out really fast.
And D helped out a lot with that too. So that was a winner. So yeah, I was a little surprised that worked out like that, but we'll see. And if you win this one, I can't just leave it like that. It's got to be best 2 out of 3 if you win. So we'll see what happens here. I'm just going to do one more. Oops, that was a failed shuffle. Let's try that again. Okay. We'll cut. And my starting hand is 5.
Draw the extra 2.
And I'm just going to turn this over. Our fleet defense is still 7. And influence is 9. And you have your starting hand. Did you want to mulligan?
No, I'm good.
I'll stick with what I have as well. And I'm sorry, your influence again is 10, so I'm 10, the first player. All right, well, let's both start by drawing our 2. And nothing to ready or restore. So we'll go right to resource. And got to be kidding me. All right, I'll put 1 under my base here to start the resource.
And I'll do the exact same.
All right. Unless I'm forgetting something, we go right to the execution phase.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'll start it off. I'll exhaust my 2 to pay for the luxury liner, which is a cost of 2 personnel.
All right.
Power of 1, no effect. It's just kind of out there by itself. So over to you, sir.
All right. I'll exhaust mine and bring out a Centurion Assassin. He's a power of 2, no effect. And yeah.
Back to me.
Back to you.
I am going to... Yeah, I'm going to pass.
All right. Then let's do our Cylon phase.
Okay. Mine is a 0.
Mine is a 4.
Okay, so still well below our defense level.
So next turn.
All right, let's start with drawing 2. Ready. Ready, or put my ship in alert and restore.
All right.
All right, and I still have the lowest influence. So I'm going to start. Or no, I'm sorry, I skipped a resource, didn't I? I could put a resource card down. I like all of these, darn it. All right, I'm going to put another one under my stack here. So we're a total of 3.
All right, I'm going to bring out a security.
You can see your strategy already lining up here. Okay, so now it's to me for an action.
Yeah.
I am going to... I'm going to play an event. Its cost is 2 personnel, so I'll exhaust this stack. It's downed pilot. Target opponent chooses 1, commit a ship that player controls, or sacrifice a personnel.
Chooses to commit a ship?
Target opponent chooses 1, commit a ship that player controls, or sacrifice a personnel.
Well, I guess I have to sacrifice a personnel, don't I? What do I do now? Well, I'm going to exhaust my Cylon base star and bring out another Centurion Assassin.
All right. Then I am going to... I will challenge with my formidable luxury liner.
Yep, I have no defense, so I lose how much influence?
Its power is 1.
Down to 9.
Back to committed. And over to you for an action.
I pass.
I will pass as well.
All right. So I have a Cylon rating of 4.
And I still have 0.
Which is lucky for you because it would have been 8. had you not got...
if both of them had been there, you would have decided that on your own. All right, so we'll start the next turn.
All right.
Draw 2. And alert.
All right. I guess it would still be you, even though we're both tied now at 9.
Yeah, the previous first player when there's a tie, so it would be me. But did you want to move your guy to alert, and we'll
Well, yeah.
do resource? I will start another and restore. So I'll start another resource stack here, another personnel stack.
All right. I am going to boost my security by 1.
Okay. And back to me for an action. I'm going to challenge with my luxury liner with its power 1. It's a ship.
Okay. I can't defend it, so I'll lose another.
Well, before you do that, it's back to me for an action.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pay 1 to play this event, which is the power of prayer. Reveal a mystic value. Target unit gets plus X power, where the X is that mystic value. So let's see what I get here.
Come on, 0.
3.
3. So it puts me down
4 total.
4. So puts me down to 5. And Alistair has just jumped in and says, "How's Battlestar Galactica treating you?" It is not treating me well.
Alistair, thanks for joining us. Yeah, I mean it's fun. Mike's deck is a little more strategic than mine, but mine seems to be paying off pretty well so far. But I won the first game, and we're kind of we're second or third turn here into our second game.
Mm-hmm. All right. So your ship is exhausted now.
Oh yes, it's committed.
Committed. And I am going to bring out the Cylon Centurion for 2 logistics and 2 security.
I have a bad feeling about this. Trying to think ahead here. I think I'm going to take it in the shorts, so I may as well just think ahead to the next turn. I'm going to pay this resource stack. There's 3 there. This only costs 2. It's Raptor number 342.
Okay.
Its power is 1, and it's got the manipulate keyword.
And manipulate does what? Sorry?
Oh, each time the ship challenges and there is no defender, you may gain influence equal to its power instead of your opponent losing influence.
All right. I have nothing else to do, so I pass.
Not going to challenge with your
Nope, because there's going to be a Cylon attack coming soon, and I want to be able to defend it.
All right, all right. Yeah, that's a good point. I am shoot. Yeah, I'm going to pass as well. So we'll
All
move on
right.
to the Cylon phase.
So I have a total of 8.
I've got 1, but I mean that's more than enough just from your side. So we'll reveal our Cylon threat.
Oh, 0.
Mine's a 1, but there's no effect on it.
All right. So
we still challenge with this? I'm
we
still
challenge with the 1, yes.
Okay. And
No.
its Cylon number is 1, so you can either, it doesn't really matter, right? And we can just take it in the shorts. Unless there's a card.
I'm down to 5, David. I can't take it anywhere.
Okay, so you're gonna challenge it?
I will challenge it.
Yeah, well, with your 4, or
what's
your
it's
power?
a 2. 2 will defeat it.
Okay, that defeats it, and then you get 2 influence. Then,
that's
right?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right, so that ends that turn.
That does. All right, so we'll start the next turn by drawing 2. And we will ready any face-up units.
All right. I'm dying here.
And then restore any face-down exhausted cards. And onto resource. Now, you're the first player, so
yes.
Go for it.
I am going to boost my security by 1.
Okay. I'm going to add another to my second resource stack here. Over to you.
All right. These get readied. And let's see here. What will I do?
Let's see, we have 4 people watching while you're looking over your cards. We have 4 people joining us on the live broadcast. So thank you very much for joining us. Oh, it just magically went down to 2. So I jinxed it a little bit there, but.
All right, I'm going to play my 3 security to play an event called Network Hacking. In Network Hacking, each player chooses 1. Commit a Cylon he or she controls, or commit all ships he or she controls.
Well, frack. That means I commit 2 ships.
All right, and I choose to commit a Cylon.
Okay, that's all you need to do, I guess.
Yeah.
So over to me for an action, I take it?
Yes, sir.
All right. I see your network hacking, and I'm going to pay 2 for this event, which costs 2 personnel. Downed pilot, target opponent chooses 1, commit a ship that player controls, or sacrifice a personnel.
Okay, well, I suppose I have to sacrifice a personnel. I'll sacrifice the one that I just committed.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to challenge with this Cylon Centurion.
Unfortunately, I have nothing to challenge that. So, what's your power?
2, but while challenging this personnel gets +2 power.
Okay, so 4 total off of me.
4 total off.
Down to 5.
All right. Back to you.
Back to me, indeed. No, I'll pass.
I'm going to, on my turn, exhaust the Cylon starbase to ready a Cylon unit.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes back. Now I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can the same guy attack twice?
I believe so. That's the advantage of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that he's readied and he's not exhausted, so yeah, you could attack.
All right.
Which I assume, since
It-
I'm going to pass, that's your next move.
he's gonna hit you for another 4.
Another 4. I'm down to 1. And just to review for Alistair that joined us, and for anyone else, there's 2 ways to win. 2 win conditions. You either get your influence up to 20, or your opponent is down to 0. And I'm at 1, and you're where? 7?
7.
Oh, all right.
I think we miss a Cylon phase though this time.
Oh, oops.
Because,
Oh well.
because I've got 4 and you've got.
I've got 1.
All right, so we do skip the Cylon phase.
Yep.
All right, so ready phase.
Draw 2. All right. And then ready our ships, or ready our committed units.
Yep.
And restore any exhausted units and resources. And then resource, since I have the lowest influence by far. I'm going to add another 1 to this.
All right. I'm going to add another 1 to my security as well.
All right, and onto the execution phase. I'm going to pay 4 to bring Tom Zarek into my reserve.
Right.
He is a power of 2 and has the manipulate keyword, which means if I win a challenge, I can either take away your influence or gain.
All right. I've had this card. I've had this card in my hand for both games, and I want to play it.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend two logistics, and I'm going to play the active contrition mission, or not mission, event. The target player reveals his or her hand. Choose a card from it. That player discards that card. So let's see what you got.
All right. I have a mission, which is red. You're an evil Cylon. Resolve with 1 civilian unit. Put target Cylon unit into its owner's hand. That player loses 2 influence.
Mm-hmm.
I have an event, which is bingo fuel. Put target alert ship into its owner's hand. And the next one I have 2 copies of, which is an event, channel the Lords of Kobol. The next time you would reveal a mystic value for a challenge this turn, do so twice and add those mystic values together.
Wow. All right. The first one seems like it's the only one that can get rid of my card, right? You're a Cylon?
You're an evil Cylon. Yeah, put target Cylon unit into its owner's hand and you lose 2 influence.
Yeah, so I'm going to choose you to lose that card.
Okay.
All right.
I hope you're happy. That was going to be my ace in the hole. I was going to take. I was going to get rid of that one unit. I was going to be safe for another turn. So it's back to me then, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's do this. I'm going to pay 2. Well, first I'm going to challenge with my Raptor 342.
Okay. I cannot defend.
Okay. Back to me for an action, so I will play Channel the Lords of Cobalt for 2, which is the next time you would reveal. Well, actually, I'm going to take that back. I don't play a Mystic value since it's undefended, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then take that. 1 power.
1. Okay. Puts me down to 6. I'm going to spend 4 to bring out number 6.
Mm-hmm.
And number 6 is a vision. She cannot challenge nor defend. But when I commit her, I can exhaust another personnel.
Mm.
And it's to you.
Over to me. Well, I'm in the death throes here. I'm going to challenge with my luxury liner.
I cannot defend.
Yeah, and that's a big 1.
All right. I'm going to challenge with my Silent Centurion.
And that's 4 when it challenges, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, that takes care of that, sure.
All right. Well,
okay, yeah.
That just declared it right there, doesn't it?
That's 1 apiece. So my Saturday would not be complete if I didn't have closure on this.
Oh, I gotta go, David. I'm sorry. We're gonna leave you. I'm just joking.
Oh, God. You dirty rat! Don't you dare. This makes me wish I had a second deck ready. Okay, bring that down. Alistair, I hope you're enjoying the game here. Perhaps we can convince you to invest in this fine game.
And the good thing is you can play multiplayer too.
You can. That's right. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. That's why a lot of these cards, they say target opponent such and such. It's something because if there's multiple players, you can choose which person that effect goes against. So we could have, I think, up to 4, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So yeah, that would be a little messy, but kind of interesting. And when there's a challenge, like if there were 3 people, I could challenge you, but the third player could influence that.
That's right.
Yeah, they also get a chance to play effects or events or missions or something to influence how that plays out, which is an interesting strategy. Yeah, this game, we were talking, I think, off camera earlier, or maybe it was when we were at the very beginning. The starter, the 2-player starter, you can get actually fairly inexpensive. You can get it from, there's an online retailer, which I will plug without any compensation, but Category 1 Games, they sell the 2-player starter for, I think it's like $7.50 or something, which is decent. Getting the boosters, usually, unless you find a deal or something, you get them around $6 or $7 a pack.
Well, Alistair's in.
I need very little convincing when it comes to card games. Would love to play with you guys sometime. Awesome. As ever, I just have to see how possible it is to source the cards. Yeah, we were just talking about that. But Category 1 does ship international, but I cannot quote you on the the cost of that international shipping, but I'm sure somewhere. And in the description, there's a link to the Facebook group, the Battlestar Galactica player and collectors Facebook group that I am the administrator of. And there are people over in Europe who are selling, so you can source it locally that way, Alistair.
So I've got my 5.
Okay, let me draw my 5 real quick here. 5. All right. Nothing to ready and nothing to restore.
So
we'll go right to resource.
Draw your 2, yeah.
Let's do this. I'm just going to put 1 under my base here.
All right. And I will put the hunting raider as a security.
And your base star is logistics, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, then on to the action phase. And because I have the lowest influence, I will start. Let's start with the let's pay 2. I haven't been taking advantage of the effect on my base, but I've been using my base to pretty much just pay for everything. But I am going to exhaust that resource stack to bring Raptor 342. That costs 2 personnel, and that's what that is there.
All right. Well, I will play the free mission. We'll see you again.
Okay. Back to me then. Let's start out strong here. I'm going to play a mission which has no cost. It's Press Junket. Resolve 1 ship, which I have 1 ship here. Gain 2 influence.
All right.
So I'm up to 11.
That could be your undoing, David.
What's that?
That could be your undoing. Let me go first.
Here we go.
All right. So I pass.
I will also pass.
And there's no silent threat. Well, maybe 1 on yours, but
I've got 1, but we're close to our fleet
we'll see you again is actually a 1 as well. So
technically 2, but still below our fleet defense.
All right. So safe. On to the next.
All right. Draw 2.
All right. I am going to boost the Cylon base star to 1 or to 2, I guess.
Do we ready and restore first and then do resource?
Yeah. Oh, it's ready, draw 2, and then resource.
Ready,
all
draw 2.
All players ready face up cards and missions in the reserve area. All players restore exhausted cards, and all players draw 2 cards. Each player plays an asset, plays a supply card, or passes.
Okay. So then you get to ready your mission. Okay, good. And so it's over to me for resource, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to play another resource to my stack there.
Okay.
Over to you, sir.
Then I am going to pay 2 logistics for a Centurion Assassin.
There's that guy again.
Yeah.
I am going to Decisions. Early in the game, when you're so low on resources, it's tough to choose here.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, those Centurions are tough. So I'm going to pay or exhaust this resource stack to pay for this 2 event. That's down pilot. You know the one. Yeah. Target opponent chooses 1. Commit a ship. Player controls or sacrifice a personnel. Over to you, sir.
I pass.
I also pass.
All right. No Cylon threat. Nope. So we move on to the next turn.
Next turn. We'll draw 2. Make sure my Raptor is readied. Oh, I could have attacked with that. I could have challenged with that. What a dummy.
All right, so I guess it's to me. I'm going to boost security by 1.
Okay. I am going to exhaust my resource stack. That's 3 in that resource to pay 3 for Billy Kikeya, presidential aid. That's a cost of 3 personnel, so that takes care of that. And then he has a power of 2, and he does have an effect, which is when this card enters play as a personnel, gain 1 influence.
All right.
So that's going to take me up to 12.
All right. I'm going to pay 2 security, and I'm going to set condition 2. Commit target unit. I think you know which unit will be committed.
Yeah.
And back to you.
I'm going to pass.
All right. I will pass as well. I have a Cylon of 1.
I have a 1 here and 2 here, so I have a total of 3.
And
so
all
4
good.
is still below our fleet defense. Start the next turn?
Yep.
Okay, draw 2. Where were these cards last game? They were all at the bottom. And ready and restore, right?
Yep.
Over to you for resource.
Yep, I'm going to bump security up to 3.
I'm going to start a new resource stack. It's another personnel or a persuasion stack.
All right. I'm going to pay 3 security for the Centurion Sniper. Centurion Sniper is a power 2. Each time this personnel challenges, you may choose the defender.
Okay. Over to me then?
Yep.
I'm going to play... I'm going to pay this resource stack. That's 3, and play Dr. Baltar, which is 3.
Yep.
But Dr. Baltar, award winner. He's a power of 1. He does have an effect, commit and exhaust, with target personnel card from your discard pile into your hand.
Okay.
And over to you.
I'm going to commit my logistics, and I'm going to play the Centurion Assassin. And that makes my We'll See You Again resolve because I have 2 Cylon units out.
All right. Over to me, indeed. Well, let's have some fun here. I'm going to challenge with Raptor 342 and
All right.
power of 1.
Go ahead.
All right. I have nothing else, so I'll take 1 off of your influence. Commit. And over to you.
I pass.
Okay. I will challenge with Billy.
Okay.
And he is a power of 2.
Power of 2. 7.
And over to you for an action.
I pass.
Okay. And I do have one other thing. I'm going to play this mission, which has no cost. Red, you're an evil Cylon. Resolve is 1 civilian unit, which Dr. Baltar is a civilian. Put target Cylon unit into its owner's hand. That player loses 2 influence.
So which one do you want to put in?
Well, that's a good question. Refresh my memory. 1 is the sniper.
1 is the sniper. Sniper is power 2, and he when I challenge, I may choose the defender.
Okay, and the other one is
he's got a Cylon value of 2.
Okay.
Centurion Assassin is just a power 2, and he's got a Cylon value of 4.
Well, let's see. We're going to have a Cylon phase regardless. You said they're both power of 2, is that correct?
Both power of 2, yeah.
Okay. Let's get rid of the sniper.
Sniper.
And over to you for any actions.
All right. I pass.
All right. I also pass.
All right.
So my side, I have 5 for Cylon value.
And I've got 4, so flip them over.
Flip it over. Cloud 9. No Cylon effect. What's yours?
Mine is a Cylon, but no effect. It is the Cylon missile battery, which I would have liked in my hand, but
that would have been a good card to have active. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's no Cylon effect, but it's a power of 3.
Okay. I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
I don't have anything active.
As will I. Down to 6.
And now mine has a power of 1.
All right. And
so we have to do that one as well,
yep,
right?
Down to 5.
Yeah. And I'm down to 10. All right. Well, that hurt.
Yeah.
Ready to start the next turn?
I hope so.
Okay, let's draw 2.
ready my Cylon, that guy.
Ready my units and restore my resource there.
All right, so I am going to I will boost up my logistics by 1.
Okay. I am going to add another supply to this resource stack here.
All right, then it's an action phase here. Action stations, action stations. I won't do that either. Ooh, this is a difficult choice here, David.
It always is.
I think I'm going to play 3 logistics. And I'll bring out number 6, Cylon Civilian. She's commit and exhaust, ready target other Cylon personnel. She's a power of 2.
Interesting. Well, while I still have cards on the table here, I'm going to play a mission. No cost there. Shuttle diplomacy. Resolve is 1 personnel and 1 ship. So I qualify, and it's gain 3 influence. That takes me to 13. Over to you.
All right. I'm going to spend 3, and I'm going to play network hacking. Each player chooses 1. Commit a Cylon he or she controls, or commit all ships he or she controls.
Okay. Well, I don't have any Cylons, so we'll just commit the ship there.
All right. It's to you.
Let's...
I shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. That's okay. You live, you learn. How did you pay for the Raptor?
How did I pay for it?
Yeah.
That was like my first ship that I took out.
Oh, no. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. That's right. You just committed.
Yeah, he was alert, and then I challenged.
Okay.
So he's committed now.
Well, good.
Decisions.
So I may have played that out of turn then.
What do you mean?
Because I played number 6. Mm-hmm. Had you done anything?
No, but no. You're the lowest influence, so you started.
Yeah, but I started, but then you should have done something, and then I would have played network hacking.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I didn't challenge that. Network hacking forced me to push this back.
So let's take that back.
Okay, let's go back in time.
Yeah. So it's to you.
It's to me.
Yeah.
And knowing what I know, back to the future here. I hate to do that, but I will attack with Raptor 342 for my big 1 point.
All right. I will play in response an event.
Mm-hmm.
for 2, and it is Suicide Bomber. When you play this event, you may sacrifice a Cylon personnel. If you do, defeat 2 target personnel.
Oh, wow.
So I will lose number 6, and
yeah,
but I still take the 1, putting me down to 4.
Right on. Okay, so since that was my challenge,
Yeah.
it's over to you for an action.
I'm just gonna play the press junket, which is a free mission. Resolve 1 ship, which I don't have yet, but I hope to have soon, and gain 2 influence.
Okay, over to me then. Gotta get something out here. I'm gonna pay 2.
Yeah.
To pay for Deanna Beers, reporter. She's a cost of 2, so that paid for that perfectly. This personnel cannot challenge. She's a power 3.
All right.
Back to you, sir.
I will hit you for 2 if I can.
Yeah, I've got nothing to stop that. So I'm down to
bring
11.
Bring you down to your lofty ledge there.
Take me down a peg or 2. Yeah.
Back to you.
Back to me, indeed. I'm going to exhaust this resource stack of 3 to pay for William Adama, who costs 3. William Adama, the old man. He's a power of 2, but while you control another alert personnel, this personnel gains +2 power.
All right. I can't play anything else.
I got nothing.
All right. So
Cylon
value of 4.
I've got 3, so that's 7. That means we do it, right?
Or do we just defend it? It has to be over, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I'm going to double check real quick here. But yeah, I think if it's equal to or less, then there's no Cylon phase. But let's see.
If the total threat is greater than the fleet defense.
Okay, that takes care of that.
All right. So
on to the next turn. Draw 2.
All right. So I am going to start a new security supply chain.
Okay. I am going to boost this one up, so I've got 4 on that supply chain now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do your favorite move again. I'm going to pay my security, and I'm going to suicide bomb my Centurion Assassin, defeating 2 target personnel.
Wow. They cost so much, and they're gone so quickly.
Back to you.
Back to me. Well, that's a mission that you have up there in alert?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, Raptor 342 is going to do its business for 1.
All right.
I'll
I'm down to
commit.
3. Go ahead. I pass.
You pass? Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to pay 2 from this resource to pay 2 for this event. Test of faith. Target player gains 1 influence. So I'll take myself up to 12.
All right. I pass.
Okay. I've got 1 more, and I'm finally going to use my base
All right.
effect. It is exhaust. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put 1 on top of your deck and the other on the bottom. So let's see here. Wow. Okay, so I will put this one on top and this one on the bottom.
All right.
Any other actions?
No, I pass.
I pass.
All right. No
We'll
silent threat.
Cylon, I only have 1.
Yeah, I've got 0.
Okay.
Or 1. Beg your pardon, because of the mission.
Right. So we'll draw 2 to start the next turn. And I'm going to move my Raptor to alert, and we'll restore our exhausted cards.
I'm going to bump my security up to 2.
Okay, and I'm going to pass.
All right. I'm going to pay 3 for a Cylon Raider. Cylon Raider is a power 4. Each time this ship challenges, sacrifice it when that challenge ends.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. So the power 4. Each time this ship challenges, sacrifice it when that challenge ends.
Okay. So 1 big hit, and then it's gone.
To you?
All right.
Oh, and because I have 1 ship, I gain 2 influence. Which I could really use.
And what's your influence now? 5?
5.
I'm going to pay 3 out of this resource stack here to bring Cloud9 cruise ship into play. It's a power of 2, and each time you lose influence, you may commit this ship to reduce that loss by 1.
All right. I'm going to exhaust the Silent Starbase to ready my skirmishing raider.
Okay. Pass.
I pass as well. So I have a Cylon value of 4.
I've got 2.
5, 6. All right, then we're all good. Oh, 7.
Right.
We're at 7 because we'll see you again.
We'll see you again. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but we're still good.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'll draw my 2. And I'll move my cards to alert and restore resource.
All right, I guess it's to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen. Let's bump this guy up to 3.
Okay. I'm gonna pass. Back to you for an action.
All right. Interesting. I am going to spend 2, and we are going to commit a target unit. And let's commit Cloud 9.
Okay.
Over to you.
I'm going to exhaust this resource of 2 to pay this 2 event. This is bingo fuel. Put target alert ship into its owner's hand.
You son of a gun. All right. I'm going to pay 3 to bring out the Skirmishing Raider.
Hey! All right, what to do? Well, I am going to attack with Raptor 342.
And I will let you. Got anything you're going to shenanigans?
Nothing to change the power.
All right, so down to 4.
Over to you for an action.
I'm going to exhaust this stack here for 3 and bring up Boomer, hell of a pilot. She has the keyword scramble, which means this personnel can defend as though it were a ship.
Well, I need to commit my Raptor since he challenged.
To you?
Yeah. Let's have some fun with, I'm going to exhaust my base to use its effect. I'll look at the top 2 cards.
All right.
Place one on top and one on bottom. These are losers. All right. I'll put this one on top and this guy on the bottom.
All right.
And exhaust that. Back to you for an action.
I'm going to play the mission Shuttle Diplomacy. Resolve with 1 personnel and 1 ship, which I have. Gain 3 influence. Puts me up to 7.
I was getting excited there.
What influence are you at right now?
I am at 12.
Okay.
And for me, I'm going to pass.
All right, I'll pass as well.
All right.
So I have a Cylon of 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, yeah, and I've got 2, so we definitely have a Cylon phase.
All right.
Ready? Oh, mine is 0.
And mine is 3. So it's but no Cylon stuff. So we both lose an influence.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. Thank God for that press junket when it came out. All right. So next phase or next turn.
Phase, draw 2.
Oh, geez. And my guys get readied, as do yours. So it's
Is
to
it
me.
for you?
Oh, yep. Okay, so I will pay 3.
Oh, did you do resource?
Oh, sorry, no resource for me. I pass.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll pass. I was going to, but then I changed my mind. I had too much time to think about it. Back to you.
All right, I'm going to spend 3, and I'm going to play the network hacking.
Oh,
Each player chooses one: commit a Cylon or commit the ships.
let's commit 2 ships.
Commit all ships he or she controls.
All ships. Yikes. Okay.
And it's to you.
Excuse me. All right. Where was I? Oh, yeah. I'm going to pay 4 to bring in Tom Zarek. He costs 4.
Yep.
He has a power of 2, and he has the manipulate keyword.
Yeah.
And over to you for an action.
I'm going to hit you for 2 with Boomer.
Yeah, I've got no defense on that. And yeah, nothing to stop it. How many? 2?
For 2, yep.
Okay. Takes me down to 9.
Back to you.
Well, I will also have a press junket. I do have a ship to qualify it, so I gain 2 influence, so I'm back up to 11. Over to you.
I am going to exhaust my base star to bring the skirmishing raider.
All right. Yeah, pass.
And I pass as well.
Okay.
So,
Cylon phase?
Cylon phase.
I've got 4.
And I've got 7 myself. So.
Oh, just on your own? Okay. Oh, man.
So each player puts the top card of his or her deck into the discard pile.
I hope you're happy.
I hope it's a good card.
Yeah, I was outmaneuvered. That would have been nice.
All right. Mine was Act of Contritions. So.
Oh, sure.
Card from your hand. So I have a Cylon value of 4.
Ouch. So I'll pass and take 1.
I will defend it and gain 2, 6, 8. Although that puts.
Do we draw mystic values for that?
I don't think so. Let's double check here. Resolving Cylon threats. Pass and lose 1 influence, or choose one of the Cylon threats to be the defender and face-up unit he or she controls. The player then becomes the Cylon player. The 2 players use the challenge procedure described earlier. Yes, so it is with a mystic value. Oh, maybe I won't defend it then. So yeah, I'll lose 1.
Okay.
And then yours was how much?
Mine is a 2.
A 2? That one I will defend.
Okay.
All right. So let's see a mystic value here.
Before that, since I'm the challenger, I can play from my hand, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to pay my resource here for Power of Prayer. Reveal a mystic value. Target unit gets X plus X power, where X is the mystic value. So it's a 2 now, and there's a 2. So it's a 4 power.
All right.
And then we draw mystic values
Yep.
to boost that.
Of 0.
And that's a 1.
Fuck. Sorry for the language. I lose my guy there.
Well, I didn't think they knew that word up in Canada.
No, trust me. It's cold up here.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So,
that takes care of that. So we'll start the next turn.
All right.
All right. I will draw 2.
It's a problem. All my mystic values are 0.
Yeah, we were talking about that while I was shuffling. It's like that's the downside of a deck that's like dominant Cylon. Is the mystic values are 0 and the Cylon value is really high. So you're setting yourself up for a lot of Cylon attacks.
Yeah.
That's why that defending base star is a winner. All right, you drew your 2, so we'll move our cards to alert and restore. And it's to you for resource.
All right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start a new. I wanted to bring her out, but I'm going to start a new logistics pile. Over to you.
And, yeah, I am going to add to this supply right here.
Okay. It's action phase now.
Yes.
So I am going to play network hacking for 3 because someone didn't shuffle well. Refresh my memory. Each player commits a Cylon or commits all the ships he or she controls.
Oh. Do not like that card at all.
There may be 4 of them in my deck. So.
Yeah, that would be the smart move. Yeah. All right, so over to me.
Yep.
Let's pay 3 out of this resource stack to bring out Deanna Beers, reporter.
Is she a Cylon as well, or no?
She does have a Cylon keyword.
Yeah. If only you had her a turn before, right?
If only.
All right. I'm going to exhaust my base star and bring Boomer out to the ready.
What's her power?
She can scramble. She can defend as if she was a ship. Or a power of 2.
Power of 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tom Zarek is going to challenge Boomer.
All right. I choose not to defend.
Oh, okay. Then 2 it is.
All right. Are you taking 2 or?
You're taking 2.
Okay. And then, so he's exhausted. And then I'm going to hit you for 2 as well.
Okay. It's over to me.
Yep.
Let's take advantage of my Celestra. And
your ships don't go into the discard pile. They're just committed.
Oh, they're committed.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that card isn't so bad after all then. I thought they were defeated. Okay. That's cool. That doesn't change anything, though. I'm still going to check the top 2 of my deck here.
Okay.
Okay, I'll put this one on top and this one at the bottom. And over to you for an action.
I pass.
I will also pass.
All right.
What's your Cylon number?
3.
3. I've got 5. So we do
right.
we do need to do a Cylon.
3.
I've got 1. No Cylon effect though.
Yeah, mine neither. Though I could have used this card in my hand as well. Cylon computer virus. All players discard their hands and then draw cards equal to their starting hands.
I wouldn't have minded that because I'm only sitting on 1 card in my hand.
I got 2, so all right. I'm gonna have to lose 1 from mine,
and I will also pass and lose 1. And then from mine with a power of 1.
Yeah. I'm down to 3.
I'm down to 6.
All right.
Well, nobody's really dominating this one yet.
No, this has lasted quite a while. All right, draw 2. Ugh.
My card's up to alert status and restore my supplies. Alistair, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. He left just before the end.
Right, he gets no closure. He'll have to come back and watch it.
And trust me, it's going to end this turn. I can feel it in my bones.
Did you do your resource?
I'm going to do that right now.
Okay.
I'll boost the logistics by 1.
Okay. I'm going to start a new personnel resource stack there. Over to you for an action.
I am going to play my last network hacking.
Oh. What is that again?
Your ships are committed. Or beg your pardon, you could commit Deanna instead.
Ooh, yeah.
Because it's commit a Cylon. I'll give you a hint. I wouldn't.
No, I'm going to stick with this.
Yeah, that makes more sense. To you?
Let's have Deanna Beers challenge with a power of 3.
All right.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. She can't challenge. She can only defend.
She can only defend.
So I should have sacrificed her, or not sacrificed, but committed her. But anyway.
No, you attack with Tom.
Yeah, I'll challenge with Tom, who is a power of 2.
All right. Deanna can boost someone by 2, right?
No, her only effect is this personnel cannot challenge.
Oh.
You're thinking of William Adama.
Okay. I guess I can't use my thing to ready and use her as a defender, can I?
Well, putting her to ready is one action, and then it would come back to me.
Yeah, but believe it's declare defenders first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so no, I can. I'll take your 2,
Okay.
putting me down to 1. I pass.
I am going to exhaust this resource stack of 3 to pay for this 2 cost event. Downed pilot. Target opponent chooses 1. Commit a ship that player controls or sacrifice a personnel.
To commit a person they control, or commit a ship?
Commit a ship that the player controls or sacrifice a personnel.
I gotta sacrifice Boomer.
All right, over to you.
All right, I'm done.
I will also pass.
All right.
And for Cylon, got 3. I only have 5.
Yeah, and I've got 1, so.
Okay, so we'll draw 2 to start. And I'm going to ready my units and.
No, that's game. There's nothing I can do to stop your ships. So if you wanna ride it out, we can. But
okay, shoot.
I'm down to one influence.
And no effects that can help you out.
Nothing that like I'll show you what I can do, but it's not going to stop you.
Okay, yeah, let's see it. Just
all right. So I will not. Actually, will I? I'll boost this logistics by 1.
Okay. And I am going to. I'll add a resource to this stack here.
All right. I am going to pay 4 logistics for Shelley Godfrey. Actually, I can't even do that. That won't work. I'll pay 3 for Boomer.
Okay. Yeah.
All you have to do is attack once, and I can't.
Yeah, I'm just going to attack with Tom Zarek.
That would do it.
All right.
Oh boy, that was tight, that one.
Yeah, boy, it was a race for last place on instead of someone getting the upper hand and getting up to 20 influence. It was just a matter of who was going to run out first.
Yeah, that one card there is killer. It just eats away the players, and I didn't have any ships, and I've got like a ton of Cylon Raiders in here. That's the worst part of it all.
Which card are you talking about?
The one that you just played. That's in the
the downed pilot.
Downed pilot.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Maybe I don't have as many ships as I thought I did. This deck definitely needs a little bit of tooling, but I think it's pretty good.
If you were to guess, I don't expect you to count them, but how many units do you have, like personnel and ships all together?
Well, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. I've got quite a few. I'd say maybe half the deck is personnel and units. The only problem is I threw a bunch of people in there that have the personnel. And I don't know why I did that, because I don't have any personnel things. So they were just used as fodder for my assets. So it's kind of a waste having them in there.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But hey, that's why we played this game, because
right.
We're tweaking it. Like I was saying, or we were both talking about it earlier. There's a lot of great cards in here that we haven't even seen yet. that we didn't include in our deck that can make it very interesting, especially on the Cylon side.
Like this Deanna Beers kept coming up. It's a four personnel card, and I couldn't play her because I didn't have any personnel resources. I think I just threw her in there because she's a Cylon.
Yeah. Last night when I was, I put it together with that deck list, and it turns out, and surprisingly, I did not have all the cards that were in that deck list. This deck, which is one reason why I thought it might be kind of weak, was it was just multiples of the same cards. So
it was effective.
Yeah, it seemed to work out pretty well, but it was just 4 Deanna Beers, 4 Tom Zarek, 4 Adama, 4 of all those, and there wasn't a whole lot of variety. So I was kind of, once one goes out, if it's out on the table, you can't play the other one, so it either goes to the resource or you sit on it.
Yeah.
So I was worried that I was going to be hung with a dead hand, but I ended up being short a couple of cards, which means I need to reach out and buy more of those cards.
That's right.
From my friend there, but I ended up putting in 2 of, and you had it. It was a logistics card, and I can't remember which one it was, but you played it in the first game, an event.
Was it the one that lets you discard a card from the player's hand?
Yes, yeah. And I was thinking, this will be kind of a fun one to zing you every once in a while. And I started going through my little playtest to see how the deck would work, and I realized I had 0 logistics.
Yeah, six of my cards were personnel, which is like 1/10 of my deck.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so knowing what I know now, I would do it a little bit differently.
Yeah, that's part of the fun of the deck building for this game.
Yeah, well, having only played the other, like the fixed deck once with you before, didn't give me much of a thing to go on. So I had fun. That was good. Well, I'm looking forward to the next one. Hopefully not within a year.
No. In fact, thank you for that segue, because that takes us into February 22nd.
Yes.
With Winter Slam 2025.
Winter Slam.
I think we should definitely fit in a Battlestar Galactica game.
Absolutely.
At least one. And if it turns out like today's did, if we set aside 2 hours for a game and it ends up going quickly, we'll fit in a best 2 out of 3 or something like that. Or even better, we'll each win one and we'll have a grudge match afterward. It's I definitely like this game. I'm always comparing things to the X-Files, because the X-Files really sets a high bar.
Yeah.
In terms of deep gameplay, and I don't think this one goes nearly as deep as the X-Files, but I think it's got a good variety of cards and a lot of good effects to make it fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a different game each time. I mean, even with playing the same deck 3 games in a row.
Yeah, we got three very different games.
Yeah. So I like it. I'm already thinking ahead to my next deck. But now that I know you've done the Cylon deck, now I need to put that aside and think of something else, because I don't necessarily want to do Cylon versus Cylon, because then it'll be a Cylon phase every single turn.
Well, who knows what'll happen? Maybe I won't go Cylon next time. You'll just have to find out next, and tune in next episode to find out.
Next one's on Do Not Pass Go.
All right, sounds good.
On your channel, so we can get some viewers out there and direct some stuff your way. Speaking of Do Not Pass Go and Winter Slam and all that kind of stuff, anything coming up on your channel, or something you got going on?
At the moment, no. I know that for Winter Slam, Nathan had mentioned that he wanted to do a Decipher Star Wars game. So I'm kind of going through my old Decipher Star Wars cards. I sold a whole bunch of them recently, so I don't have a lot of the super rares anymore. But maybe I'll throw together a deck of that and see how that goes.
Okay, and maybe have a game before Winter Slam.
Yeah, just to see.
I'd totally watch that. I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Recently, not as much because of the stuff that's been coming out, but
Yeah.
the original trilogy, I'm a huge fan. I can watch it word for and say it word for word throughout the whole
Same
thing.
here.
So I would definitely want to watch that game and see how that plays, because I know it was popular for a very, very long time.
I spent a lot of money on that game.
You know? And I'm hoping someone throws Star Trek out there. I want to see Star Trek get played, because I'm also a big Star Trek fan. Not so much of the recent stuff, but I'd like to see that. I've watched someone on another channel, Team Covenant. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yep.
They played a Star Trek game. They played First Edition.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a lot of fun. It's like very cool with putting out the planet.
It's a totally different mechanic. Yeah.
Yeah, completely different from anything I've played before, which made it all the more interesting. But now, I mean, even with it being, it's dead in terms of it's not being available commercially, but there's still a community out there that's creating fan community is creating cards. But that gets intimidating for me, because not only were there just a ton of commercially released cards, but now there's all the fan cards too. So it's, I'm kind of hesitant to try and get into it and be starting behind the 8-ball, basically starting with nothing.
Yeah,
right?
Starting from scratch is kind of hard.
Do you have any of the Star Trek cards, or did you play that at all?
But I lost those a long time ago.
Ah.
Yeah, the only other card game that I have is called Legends of the Five Rings.
Ooh, that's another popular one.
Yeah, and I have the LCG, not the CCG, but the living, or I think it's called Living Card Game, or yeah, and I have a big box of those, and I'm just itching to play that because that's a fun game to play. And
I've heard really good things. Now the LCG is the most recent release, right?
That's correct.
Started as the collectible, and then the LCG.
The CCG was an excellent game too, but I've long since lost those cards as well.
Okay. I hate to commit to another game. I did that to you with Battlestar Galactica, and then we didn't play it for a year. But I might watch that when I have a few minutes. I'll watch some gameplay and see if it's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't mind getting you can get the expand. You see them pop up in the
it's fairly inexpensive, and then you can actually, just from the starter, you can build yourself a pretty good deck just from the starter, and then even the booster packs that came out, they're relatively cheap if you can find them.
Okay. One, I don't know if you know this one, and Guillaume, if you're watching, I know you've got some of these. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, never played that one.
That's another one that seemed interesting. Another one I watched on Team Covenant during the COVID. They were doing their throwback, and that was one of the games that they played, and it looked really interesting, almost like Star Trek, not like Star Trek, but kind of in that you set up locations. I don't know how familiar you are with the Buffyverse.
No, I've never watched it.
It takes place in this town, and the locations are different places in the town, and you would actually set up almost, you and your opponent would set up a circle, and you would go to the different locations, and different locations had different influences on the game, and in the middle was the graveyard, and that's where battles would take place and that sort of thing. And it also seemed like another unique one where you're going to different locations, and the different locations have different effects and that sort of thing.
Well, I'd be down to play anything if I can find it. That's
Okay, well,
that's the
uh, watch your mail, because ironically, I was getting into that game, and then on another channel, I won a giveaway
oh
of
wow.
Buffy starter decks. So maybe I'll drop something in the mail for you,
Now
and
that
you can take a look at it. And if you're interested, we can try it out.
yeah, I like I said, I'd be down to play anything. I don't know very much about Buffy. I never watched. I watched the original movie with Luke Perry,
Oh yeah, and for Luke Perry and Christy
Christy
Swanson.
Swanson. Yeah,
Yeah, that's going way back. But even the TV shows, I hate to date myself, but yeah, that I think that's back in the 90s.
well, you already did it when you said you watched the original Battlestar Galactica.
That's
So
true. I revealed that I'm an old man. Fortunately, the lighting here covers my gray on the
yeah,
side,
I'm
but
wearing the hat. I'm in the same boat. So
but yeah, well, definitely we'll play another game. I'm already thinking about another deck, and we'll reach out behind the scenes and line something up. Hopefully before uh, February 22nd, so we have another game or two under our belt, and
yeah, that'd be good.
have an even better, more improved decks by the time February 22nd comes around. I'd really like that.
And I didn't actually add any of those betrayal cards that you sent to me. So I've got the stack of the betrayal cards here, and I
Oh
know I
yeah,
know
you've
I
still
know
got
that
a whole nother thing. That there were a lot of Cylon cards in that
yeah.
too. So would definitely be in your best interest to look through that.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I had a fun time playing,
Yes, a
and
great time playing. Everyone, we had some viewers kind of come in and out. Thank you for tuning in during the live broadcast. If you're watching afterward, if you like the game, you want to see more, definitely click on the like. That way, I know people want to see this. Definitely want to play. I'm going to play it again, whether people like it or not. But the likes really help out in terms of YouTube algorithm and letting me know what people want to see. Um, uh, yeah, and other than plugging February 22nd Winter Slam, we're going to be playing all kinds of games across 5 different channels. And for those of you watching in the future, February 22nd, 2025 is coming up, and we're going to be playing Winter Slam. Do Not Pass Go is going to be in there. Mike is going to be playing some games and hosting some games. We talked about Star Wars coming up. Definitely you and I will be playing a Battlestar Galactica game. On my channel, we're probably going to be playing some X-Files versus system, possibly a game of X-Files, and 24 possibly on that one as well. And other channels will be playing a lot of X-Files and versus system. We'll be doing some booster box
probably got to
openings.
be a game of Scooby Doo somewhere in there too.
Scooby Doo is going to be there too. Yes, we definitely had some interest with that, and I'm hoping to get some more interest. It's X-Files light, so it's kind of fun. And I grew up with Scooby Doo, so it's kind of fun. We did a booster opening with Jonathan, another friend of the channel, on a Saturday morning, not unlike this. And I went all in. I was in my pajamas and I was eating a bowl of cereal while he was opening the boosters, and we were talking about the cards. It was a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll get a couple of games of Scooby Doo in there and get some people interested in playing that game. It's another one that's fairly inexpensive to get started with. You can get a two-player starter box for like $15 or something like that, and it's worth it because you get a ton of cards in there.
One last thing I'm going to mention: if you are interested in the Battlestar Galactica, getting into it, join the Facebook group. It's called Battlestar Galactica CCG Players and Collectors. Join that group, and then hey, you can play us on a game. It doesn't have to be televised or whatever, but it can be behind the scenes or whatever. But yeah, just reach out because it's a fun game and we should get more people playing it.
It is a fun game. We've proven with these 3 and the ones that we played in behind the scenes. And yeah, thank you for mentioning that. There are people who maybe were collectors and they're not into it anymore. So there's plenty of cards to be to choose from if you're looking to boost up a collection or get a deck started. And we talk about, so we're going to have more to talk about now that these games have been played, you know, as in terms of strategy and that kind of thing. So we'll definitely get some conversations going. And so if you're camera shy, you want to play, but you're not interested maybe in being broadcast all over the internet, happy to play behind the scenes. Just reach out to either one of us.
Yeah.
I don't mean to speak for you, but you mentioned it. So if you want to play with either one of us, we're happy to play off camera as well, and just have some fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right.
All right. I will see you very soon, Mike. Thanks again for joining me and playing this great game.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for having me, and it was a great time.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.